Yo, what is up guys? So today I'm going to be showing you a song that I made that falls into the vein of one of my favorite Midwest emo adjacent bands, Glocca Morra. I swear that one of you guys actually commented this band in one of my videos in the comment section, but I can't find the comment or who said it, but you guys always recommend me such great bands and such great music, and this really is no exception to that. So Glocca Morra formed in Florida in 2009, which makes it technically not Midwest emo, but if it walks like a duck and sounds like a whiny teenage boy, it's probably Midwest emo. So today I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks to making Midwest emo and math rock inspired songs. Before I get into things, I do want to mention that the best way to support the channel is by checking out my online shop where you can get samples, loops, mixing and guitar presets, and tons of stuff to help you make your music. Alright, let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to be doing to create our Midwest emo sound is use an alternate tuning. So I actually have a video all about different tunings. It's mainly for shoegaze though, and I didn't include this tuning. It's not a tuning that Glocca Morra uses, I don't think. It's actually a tuning I got from Elliott Smith, and it's basically just like open D, but a whole step down. So the tuning is C, G, C, E, A, and C, and it creates that beautiful open chord, and it just has a nice bit of a low end to it because it's like a lower tuning that I quite like, and I wanted to give the track my own kind of flavor. For this track I took a bit of inspiration from Glocca Morra's track Irrevocable Motherfucker, which has got to be one of my favorite, if not my favorite track from them. It starts out with this really like twinkly kind of Midwest emo inspired kind of riff, and then it moves on to more of that typical punky emo kind of sound, which I really like. I'm going to show you each riff that I played one by one. So first riff sounds like this. Alright, so the main technique that I'm incorporating in this riff is hammer-ons and pull-offs, and if you want to get into playing in this style, you need to learn that technique and you need to get it down quite well. So go practice that technique specifically and you'll have no trouble like playing these kinds of riffs. But something as well that makes these kinds of riffs sound better and kind of easier is using a compressor. So let me show you what I've got going on for the tone here. I'm using Amplitude 5, and I'm using this Vox amp that they have, and I'm using this Dynacomp that they have. Now, I have a real Dynacomp, and you know, before I got it, I was like, should I really get a compressor? It doesn't really make that big of a difference in the sound. But once I got it and I started like playing around with it, I noticed like everything that I played just sounded better. Like honestly, it's this pedal specifically, it's two knobs and it just makes it sound better. I tried a bunch of different compressors, a Boss compressor, I think a Seymour Duncan compressor. All of them had like noise and didn't sound quite right, but the Dynacomp just really made everything sound good. So I would really recommend that pedal or any compressor. This is my personal preference. It just makes everything sound better, and it makes those open strings and those hammer-ons and pull-offs sound much fuller and much clearer. So I have that guitar track. Okay, so that's it with that guitar track. I have it pan left, but then I have another clean guitar that's just playing like an open strumming chord. Sounds like that. And now just a little kind of like songwriting tip in general. Something that I like to do, especially with Midwest emo, is just to add almost like kind of filler sections or just points of interest. You know, usually if you're making a song, or sometimes I find when I'm making a song, it can end up just becoming a bunch of the same section just copy pasted in different places, and it just sounds like a loop, but like a really big loop. And you know, sometimes that can work, sometimes that just feels boring and you don't want to go for that. So it can be literally just like one bar, and a lot of the time it's like in Midwest emo specifically, it's like a bar and an odd time signature. You don't have to do that, but basically, I just did this little break section. After that first riff, I'm just playing some chords that go into the next section, which sounds like. And then it just builds some interest for the listener and makes them go, oh, I wasn't expecting that. What's going to happen next? It keeps you on your toes. So then we move on to the main section here, which is just some emo chords, just slamming away. And I love playing and coming up with chord voicings in alternate tunings. So I'm going to show you what I kind of did, what my thought process was here. So firstly, I started out with this kind of power chord shape, starting on the A string here, I guess the G string. And it's just this power chord shape, but I'm letting all the other strings ring, and it sounds like this. So it just sounds like a really big open chord, and then I'm going from that to this, just moving my pointer finger down a string, and then I get, and then we move, just barring the bottom 3 strings and letting the top 3 ring out. May take a little bit of practice doing that, and to get it to sound clean. Because usually you're barring the whole string, but I'm just using this part of my finger, this top bit of my finger, just to bar the bottom 3 strings, so I get the top of the strings ring. So all together it'll sound like. And I'm pairing that with a more distorted guitar as well, just for that section, and that sounds like this. And I'm just using a DS1 for the distortion. Then we're moving on to the bass, and for the bass I kind of wanted to do something different, not just your average just like following the roots. I kind of wanted to do something more melodic. Here's what I came up with. And then into the main section. Kind of just going to the opposite of what I just said. And for the drums, here's what I came up with. And then I recorded some whiny vocals of my own. And yeah, that's pretty much all the sections. So if you liked the video, please leave a like. If you really liked it, please consider subscribing. And if you want to support the channel, please check out my online shop, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So without further ado, here's the final track.